Hello and welcome to Flames TV. I'm your host, Steve Allred. And a very special and personal hello and welcome to any members of our armed forces watching this program. And thank you for everything you do for our country. Our guest today is six-time IHRA Top Fuel Dragster champion Clay Millican. Clay has had a tough year in 2008 from a business standpoint, but he's tanned, rested, and ready to run the rest of the schedule this year. I caught up with Clay as he was walking out the door to go to the IHRA race in Reading, Pennsylvania. Let's join that interview. Clay, in the dark days after the Torco fiasco, did you ever consider hanging it up?
No, I mean, drag racing is what I do, and, that's how I feed my family, and, I hate to even call what happened with Torco a fiasco. I mean, they had some business issues, and Evan certainly did all that he could do to help a lot of people, and he did, and, he'd give us the opportunity to purchase the equipment, and I contacted a very good friend of mine, Mark Pickens, and Mark saw the opportunity to go in here and purchase all the equipment from Evan Knoll, and, it took a few months. We moved into a new shop. We had cars updated, and here we are. I mean, trucks and trailers have already arrived in Reading, and I will be arriving there shortly myself, and we get to go racing. We sped up our plans thanks to Kenny Koretsky. He and I, have been friends a long time. He actually was my team owner at one point in 05 and 06. Won a couple championships for Kenny, and we were talking, and he asked me, how close were we to being ready to run the car? And I said, basically we're ready to go, and the U.S. Nationals will be our first race. And he says, well, why wouldn't you go to Reading? And I said, well, we're not, funded to go to Reading. And Captain Chaos, as he's known, it was a hard sponsor sale on my part. He said, how much is it going to cost? And I told him what I thought it'd cost. And he said, Mark Pickens sponsored the car when I owned it, and I'm going to sponsor the car for Reading. He said, you get those boys packed up and y'all head to Reading. So we clicked her up into a higher gear, called our friends at Pro Decal. We had a design made, and we will be at Reading this weekend as the Nitro Fish car. So, I mean, it's pretty exciting. I'm ready to go get in the car and race, and haven't actually raced since Gainesville earlier this season, and it'll be an exciting time this weekend. I just want to go out and not hurt any equipment, make some good runs, and see if I can shake up the countdown points, see what we can do. I mean, this is going to be a great weekend. It's, the kickoff weekend for the new company, which is called MPE Motorsports, and this is going to be a great weekend.
Tell us a little bit about Mark Pickens, and how did you become involved with him?
Well, I actually met Mark several years ago when we were in Phoenix testing. He was out there for business, came up to the back of the trailer, introduced himself, told me he was from the Memphis area, which, I mean, we're located in the Memphis area, and Mark is a racer himself. He races in the top sportsman class in both NHRA and IHRA. He's a multi-event winner, and, he and I just seem to hit it off. I mean, he's just a really, really nice guy. Mark, his wife Lauren, Jessica, his son Mark Jr., I mean, just a great family. They run a lot of businesses here in the Memphis area and actually worldwide. And, Mark became involved, fairly quickly after we met. It was almost as if, it's almost as if he was in training to own this team. He started sponsoring the car in a big way just right off the get-go while Kenny Koretsky owned the car. He owns a company called Motivation that does electronic fuel injection and custom tuning for electronic fuel-injected race cars and street cars, and he sponsored the car while Kenny owned it for the U.S. Nationals and several other events, and it was just, it was just a blessing, and, it was kind of a training ground for him owning this team. And he has came in here and we renovated a new building that came out very, very nice. I mean, our shop is something to be very proud of. 10,000 square foot. We can keep 4 tractor trailers inside. It's got very nice offices, machine shop area, fuel flow bench. I mean, he's really given us some great tools to go out and compete with the best in the NHRA, and that's what we're going to do.
Is Motivation is that a retail product, or is that technology that he licenses? Tell us a little about that.
Motivation is a retail product. You can buy the product from Summit. You can call them directly. They've got one of the best bracket racers in the world that kind of develops the products. TJ Tracy, he's the winner of the first $1 million bracket race they had several years ago. And basically, what they've done is made it affordable for most any racer to take a carburetor right off of this car and an electronic fuel injection on it and kind of move into the modern age. I mean, you can't buy a car from any dealership brand new that is not electronic fuel injection. I mean, cars just run better, they repeat, and there's just so much horsepower to be found in electronic fuel injection. Mark Pickens has put together a great team at Motivation that can do this. I mean, you can, take your Mustang, for example, your new Mustang, and you can change the cam, you can do all these things, and if you don't address the computer side of it, it's not going to be any benefits. Well, you can call Motivation, and they can give you a program that will step it right up, or you can take your top sportsman car, your super comp car, and put electronic fuel injection on it, and suddenly you're going to find that you've got a car that will repeat the same number over and over again. I mean, there are racers out there every day finding out the benefits of having electronic fuel injection.
And Kenny is helping you for this race. Of course, he used to own your team. For those listeners who aren't familiar with Nitrofish, can you give us a real quick rundown on Nitrofish?
Sure. I mean, Kenny Koretsky, he's a pro stock racer. He's actually out of the seat right now. He had an accident earlier this year in Topeka. And, he owns a company called Nitrofish that's been involved with drag racing for many, many years. It's very well known in the drag racing world. It's this mean-looking fish, and, it's just kind of become part of drag racing. The Nitrofish is an apparel company. They sell lots of apparel all over, and, it's grown quite a bit over the years, and Kenny has certainly kept the Nitrofish name out in front of people, from having it on his pro stock car to having it on our top fuel car this week.
Are the Nitrofish products available in retail stores or on the internet or both, or how would fans find those? You
can get Nitrofish products, off the internet at nitrofish.com. Kenny has a very nice trailer that's at all the NHRA events, and the product is very, very, very easily accessible. From the internet. He's got a full-time staff that gets the products sent out right away, so you don't have to wait very long to get them. And he has got some really cool stuff. I mean, if you haven't seen Nitrofish products, just go to nitrofish.com.